Hey guys, I'm back on the Group W bench. Why, yes, I am wearing 1980s Russian camouflage. Thank you for noticing. Now that I live in the mountains, I've decided that I am in fact a Wolverine, and I will wear captured uniforms and use captured equipment and just randomly get on the roof and scream, Wolverines! You know, for no real reason. These are actually a gift from my brother. They're very comfortable pants. Okay, so found something on Amazon. I found it a while ago. I've had it for a while, and I just have not really had a good chance to do a little video on it. So we knife-loving people usually all carry around an EDC, maybe two. One of the most important things in terms of for use and safety is for the edge on your knife to be refined and sharp at all times. A dull blade is actually dangerous, if you didn't know that, because a sharp blade bites into what you're cutting and does the cutting nice and clean. A dull blade can cause the knife to skip, can cause it to not cut what you want, and end up kind of losing its footing, its bite into whatever it is. You can cut yourself. So a sharp blade is very important for multiple reasons. Those of us that are on the go and like to do lots of things don't always have the opportunity to sit down with a regular whetstone or one of those fancy sharpening systems, and of which I have both. But I saw this on Amazon. It is, it says Ultimate Survival Tips. Oh, there's other stuff that you can do. There's a little QR code or two that you can like scan for stuff. I don't know what it does, but okay. Tiny survival guide. We've seen the tiny survival guide in some box. So this is the tiny knife sharpener and tool sharpener. And it is designed, they say, to fit in a wallet. I'll be honest. It's a little, it does come, okay. It is a little big and bulky to have both these things in your wallet. Now, you don't have to carry all these things. Let me explain, for those of you who don't know what you've got here. You've got a 500 grit diamond. You've got a 1,000 grit diamond. So we always go coarse to fine. And then it comes with a little leather piece for stropping. See the soft side? We don't use that. We use the good side. Stropping is a really important part of refining your edge and getting that really nice sharp, really nice refined bevel and sharp edge on there. It actually comes with some stropping compound. I thought it didn't at first. I didn't know what was in there. And this is important. We'll get to it later. This little guy, it's funny. In my knife collection, in my shelves, this is exactly what I have on the bottom of each drawer to hold knives in place. You can put this under your diamond to hold it in place, or you can put it under your strop to hold it in place. That's a really nice touch. That's a nice feature, so that when you're working, it doesn't move around. You could easily hold this in your hand if you're, some people are slick enough to do this without cutting themselves. Some people are not. One thing this doesn't come with that I like to use with a diamond stone, or a diamond sharpening surface anyway, is a lapping fluid. Because it's easy for these fine diamonds. Now, when we say diamonds, let's back up a sec. These are little diamond, tiny little diamond crystals that are, they're industrial diamonds. Obviously, they're not like found on the ground fancy diamonds. You can feel it. They are bonded to the metal surface. You don't want to use water on this like you would with a whetstone because it's bonded to a steel surface, and that could cause corrosion, rust, and it could really get under and affect the bonding of your diamond particles. So lapping fluid is made to be used with diamond stones without being any danger to the metal, that it's the metal base. We've got some more stuff, knives, and this is how to sharpen, but we're gonna do that. Now, you will find people who swear by the fact that you need to condition the surface of a new diamond honing tool, and those who say you don't. You can just use it right away. For the sake of demonstration, I'm going to show you how you would condition this. And what you're doing is you're taking off the topmost coarse layer on each side of these diamond crystals so that you have a surface that accurately represents the grit depicted on it. Those who really are in favor of conditioning say that you get a smoother, more consistent hone on your blade. Some people say it's not necessary, but we're going to go through it just so you can see how it works. Now, I'm going to put this on here. You can use WD-40, you can use Windex, you can use vinegar, you can anything that's a non-water based type lubricant. I'm using, so this is axial knife oil, but this is really the same formula of my favorite lapping fluid. And it's very good for all sorts of stuff. So I'm going to put a few drops on here, not a whole lot. I'm going to use my finger to spread it all around, and you'll see it just kind of makes a thin surface. Let me put a little bit more. Okay, so that lubricates what we've got. Now, you can do this with whatever. I'm using a knife I'm not particularly attached to, because what we're going to be doing is not using the edge, but the actual flat side of something metal. We're just going to be rubbing it on here. Yes, it's going to mess up the surface, but I'm going to redo something with this knife anyway. And you want to do this for about 2 minutes, making sure that you cover all surfaces nice and even. And so again, we're not using the edge, not the bevel, the flat side. If you have an old not a file, but like a old screwdriver, old chisel, that works great. You just want to make sure that you're doing it nice and even. In fact, I'm going to do it without this so I can move it around a little easier. I'm going to set a timer now for 2 minutes. And what I'm doing is it's not cosmic, it's not a mystery. On a lot of websites you can find this method. So I'm just going to do this for about 2 minutes. Okay, 2 minutes has expired. You can see we've got some, and you can feel it. It's like a gritty solution now on the knife blade. We also have it here on the card. I should have brought a rag or something out here. I'm just going to wipe this off on the Group W bench. And you know what? What's the point of wearing Russian camouflage if you can't get it messed up a little bit? So I'll use my pants. I can always wash them. And I can already feel a marky mark, whatever, difference in the surface here. Now, you can do it one time. You could do it up to 3 times if you really want to be thorough. And by the way, just to show you, we really don't have much damage or discoloration to the knife itself. So, you know, whatever. You can do that up to 3 times if you want. This feels pretty good right now. I might do it, just for the sake of showing you, I'll do all 3 times, and then I'll do 3 times on this side too. I just finished the 3rd pass on the 500 side, and I'll tell you the 500 side feels smoother and more fine than the 1000. So that's the point. You know, if you just start, you absolutely can just start sharpening on it, but there's uneven crystal levels, microscopically so, on the surface. And what we're doing is we're evening them all out and taking off those high points so that we have a nice, even, correct to the grit surface to do our sharpening on. So I'm going now to do the 1000 side, and you know what? CRKT actually looks pretty cool for the wear. I've done the conditioning on both sides, and now the 500 feels smoother, but still a little more coarse than the 1000. So we're ready to go. Now, a lot of people, I'm just going to say, cannot maintain an angle when they're sharpening, you know, freehand like this. There are some, you know, kind of aftermarket sort of things that you can get that are like little angle guides that you can put. It has a little elastic band, you know, on something like this, if you need that. I also know a lot of people can just sharpen, you know, on their own. So I'm going to use this Kubi. I got it in a monthly knife club. I can't remember the actual model right now, but I really love it. It's 14C28N steel, which is pretty good steel, especially for EDC use. General purpose, it's all the qualities are just really good. So right now, it's not bad. I have used this a little bit. But let's see if we can get it better. So you can use this down on the ground if you want, if you're comfortable holding it, whatever. I'm gonna lap it up a little bit. And just like any other sharpening method, you're just gonna if you already have a pretty good edge on your blade and you're happy with it, you probably can skip the 500 and go right to the 1000. I know some people who the sound of sharpening a knife is like nails on a chalkboard to them, but to me it's a very relaxing sound and I love it. And this is actually doing pretty good. I can feel a difference. Where are we at so far? It's getting a little refined, a little easier to make those very effortless, tiny, thin cuts, but let's keep going. It's easy to have the instinct to push down into this, which you don't want to do, especially with diamond. You want to just let the blade glide on it. So I'm going to do a handheld, you know, just to demonstrate that too. Pretty easy, pretty comfortable to use. You shouldn't have to do a whole lot if you have a decent edge to start with. So that's good for the 500, I think. I'm going to move on to the 1000 now. And I don't know what the hell that is, but okay. Feeling good. I like it. I like it. Feeling very nice. I really like where it's going, and cutting in the wood, it already feels like a finer, better edge. So I'm going to keep going a little bit. I'm not going to make you watch. It's the same thing over and over. I'm very happy with how the edge is turning out on this. So I think we're done with the stone. You don't have to do a lot of grinding on a stone if you've got a decent edge to start with. Now, stropping, you can strop on several different compounds, several different materials, I should say. You can use cardboard, you can use denim, and leather kind of works out the best. Now, to strop, all you're going to do is you're just going to run your knife edge along that leather, away from the cutting surface. You can use regular plain leather, that works fine, or you can use compound, which helps provide more uniform, it's like a polishing powder almost. Now, I've never seen it literally powdered like this. It usually comes on a little block that you rub on, but let's see compound. Get some of that off. That is feeling really nice. I want to get some of that compound that's stuck on the blade. And again, you're not pushing this into the leather, you're just letting it glide over it. You shouldn't have to do this a whole lot either. Sometimes it's just soothing to do and hear that sound. Now, I'm not a fan of this powdery compound. I like the more solid type. This edge feels so much better than it did. And I can so much more easily shave this piece of wood into these little teeny tiny curly cues, because with a sharper edge you have better control. So this is not a bad thing. I will have put the price in text because I can't remember what I got it for. It's good to carry with you and have an on-the-spot ability to not only sharpen, hone, but to strop. You can put it all together. And yeah, it does fit in your wallet. It is a little thick, but it does exactly what it says. You can put it in your wallet and it will fit there, and you can carry it around and sharpen whenever you need to. So this edge, I can tell, I don't have paper out here to do it, but I can tell you it definitely feels better than it was before. And cutting on the wood, I feel like I have a lot more control to do the more fine stuff because the edge is just refined better. So is it worth it? I don't know, that's up to you. You can get diamond stones in a variety, yeah, it feels really good, in a variety of qualities for a variety of prices. I like that this one is small and wallet sized, but at the same time there's something to be said for a larger, more heavy duty piece. But anyway, whether or not you like it is up to you. I just wanted to show it and see how it worked, and it works well. Now after this, I'm going to give this an actual wash down in soap and water, but I'm going to make sure I dry it thoroughly. I want to make sure I get all of the little particles away from the microscopic space in between the crystals, because any sharpening stone, you get it clogged up with metal and it doesn't work as well. So what are your thoughts, folks? What do you think, guys, about this? Would you want to carry this? Would you spend the money on it? Is it gimmicky? Or what's your favorite sharpening solution for, like, in the field on the go? What do you like? I did a whole video once on field expedient sharpening. I'll put a thing. It's years and years old, but it's all valid stuff still. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for spending a little bit more of your time with me. I hope I hear your opinions on this. Remember that you guys are all absolutely awesome, and I appreciate every single one of you, and I'll be back again real soon.